If you are somebody who don't like to hear the truth, this content is not for you. If you are somebody who like to do to other people what you wouldn't want others to do to you, this content is not for you. I have always stood for the truth, and I will continue to stand on that truth. Like my father would say, truth is never afraid to speak. It is only the person who is about to speak that truth that is usually afraid. Me, I know the fear to talk truth. This content will offend a lot of people who don't like to hear the truth. That is why they give you heads up. If you be that kind of person, scroll past this video, not watch it. Of recent, tensions have been high in Ghana till now. And today, I saw some videos on social media of how some Ghanaians were destroying businesses belonging to Nigerians. And why are the Ghanaians even doing this thing? Because according to the Ghanaians, a certain Igbo man who have lived in Ghana for about 30 years eventually became the leader of the Igbo people in Ghana. And of recent, according to the Ghanaians, so this Igbo man started parading himself as a king. And the Ghanaians, they are saying that foreigners cannot become king in Ghana. Now, let's hear from the Igbo king the things he said that is making these Ghanaians to be angry. Let's hear him talk. I will come back to say some more.
But I'm creating Igbo village, which has never happened in the history of the world among the Igbos in the world. As I'm talking to you, I've acquired 50 acres of land, that is 250 plus of land along the Flower Road, that is at Old Ningo area. But along that road, it's right on the road, I acquired 250 plus of land. My reason of acquiring this land is to build Igbo village in Ghana. I call it Amandi Igbo in Ghana. We'll build a village where we're going to build the palace of Igbo there, a huge palace. In that Igbo village, my good brother, what I want to do there is we'll create streets there. We'll create streets that will represent the names of the ancient Igbos. We'll create the streets that will bear the name of Sambakwe Street. That's the ex-governor of Imo State. We'll create a street that will bear the name of Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, the first president of Nigeria. We'll create a street that will bear the name of Nzogo. We'll create a street that will bear, of course, the name of my father also, Zemaladi Henetu. And all the great Igbo leaders that they have gone, and those are present, will create streets in their name that will represent them in Igbo village in Ghana. And this Igbo village in Ghana, every Igbo man all over the world have right to come there and buy property. Either you want a plot of land or 2 plots of land to build your dream house. We're also going to build tall buildings of maybe 6th floor or 7th floor. We'll sell them flat by flat. And we will have a single entrance in this Igbo village. When you come in there, you know you're coming into Igbo village in Ghana. From there, the Igbos will expand. We will build markets there.
Now, you have heard the Igbo king. Let's also listen to this influential Ghanaian. Let him tell us the offense that the Igbo king has committed. I will come back and present more facts before you. Listen.
What did the Igbo chief do wrong by buying land in Ningo?
First of all, calling himself a king in Ghana is wrong.
That's wrong, I agree with that.
Nobody who is not a citizen of this country can make himself a king in our country. You know the law. It doesn't permit that. So you coming to tell us that you are acquiring 50 acres of land to build a kingdom, an Igbo kingdom, so that it will become one of a kind in the world that has never happened anywhere in this country, shows that we are loose. We are allowing everybody to take over everything. The ministers of state will all be coming and through that gate, and anybody who wants to acquire land or property who is a Nigerian will come there and acquire land and build as a Nigerian and leave. And that's an Igbo kingdom. Clearly, they are becoming another tribe in Ghana.
Now you have listened to that man. I am not here to take sides. I am here to present before you empirical evidence for you to be able to decide maybe who's wrong or who is right. Now, we have other Nigerian tribes right there in Ghana. Let's listen to this 32 seconds clip to hear if the Yoruba community or the Hausa community in Ghana also have their own kings. Let's listen.
When you're a foreigner and you're a settler, you come to this country. Our constitutions allow you to be called a chief of your community. So all the settlers in Ghana, like the Yoruba, they have a Yoruba chief. The Hausas, they have a chief. The Zambarama chief. That is fine. We can give you that title to be able to be managing yourself. But when you begin to, parade yourself, call yourself like Asante Hene and all these other kings in Ghana, and you be walking when you are not a citizen and say you are a king, and you are going to acquire tracts of land and build a kingdom.
Now, let me start presenting facts before you. You heard what the Igbo king in Ghana said. You heard his vision for the Igbo people. Now, the other man that spoke, the man said foreigners are allowed to have chiefs so that they can be able to manage their people, but not kings. Now, you heard from the third clip that even the Yoruba community in Ghana and the Hausa community in Ghana do not have kings, but chiefs. Now, let's start this content proper. Look at your screen. I asked the question, is polygamy legal under customary law in Nigeria? And the answer is yes. Polygamy is legal under customary law in Nigeria. Nigerian customary law, which varies across different ethnic groups, generally recognizes and permits polygamous marriages where a man can marry multiple wives. This contrasts with the Marriage Act. So under the customary law in Nigeria, polygamy is legal. Now, Anna asked again, this same polygamy that is legal in Nigeria, is it legal in the US? Look your screen. No! Polygamy is not legal in the United States. It is illegal in all 50 states. While some individuals and groups practice polygamy, it is not recognized under the law, and those involved may face legal repercussions. That is to say, what is legal in your country, Nigeria, is illegal here in the Yankees. That is to say, when you go to a foreign land, their law is what you have to abide to, not what you practice back home in your country. That one clear. Now, I went further. I said, in Ghana, can foreigners have their own king and kingdom? Now, check your screen. Ghana has a dual legal system that combines statutory and customary laws. While the Ghanaian constitution recognizes and protects the institution of traditional leadership, typically in the form of chiefs and paramount chiefs, there is no provision for foreigners. There is no provision, don't forget that place. There is no provision for foreigners to have their own kings in the sense of establishing separate sovereign territories within Ghana's borders. This concept of parallel authority structures is a concern in Ghana. Now, we went further. Now, it is important to note the distinction. A foreigner being installed as an Nkunswehene does not equate to establishing a separate kingdom or having sovereignty over Ghanaian land. This is the Ghanaian constitution. Now they read for you. So, Ghana's constitutional democracy recognizes its own traditional leadership system, and it is not intended to accommodate foreign monarchs with political authority or territorial ambitions. So when you don't go another country, you want to get your own kingdom, automatically you don't want to create your territory in another man's land, which is not acceptable under the Ghanaian constitution. Now we go further. In short, While foreigners can receive honorary chieftaincy titles for development purposes in Ghana, they cannot establish, not forget that line, they cannot establish their own kingship with political or territorial authority parallel to the existing Ghanaian system. Every country for this world get their constitution, they get their rules and regulations. You can be a chief in Ghana. Ghanaian traditional rulers don't even give chieftaincy titles to Igbo people, but not be kingship. So according to the Ghanaian constitution, foreigners cannot come to Ghana and establish their kingdom. Foreigners cannot come to Ghana and have their own king in Ghana, according to the Ghanaian constitution. So if you are doing anything contrary to what is in their constitution, you are breaking the Ghanaian law. Truth must be told. Everywhere now, Nigerians, they get wahala. Nigeria now get wahala with Yankee, get wahala with UK, get wahala with South Africa, get wahala with Uganda, get wahala with Kenya, now get wahala again with Ghana. Nigerians don't go UAE, then don't go cast that place. Some years ago, Nigerians start to cast Turkey. So we not fit just close eye, the form say, you know, consign us, because we have people back home in Nigeria. We get plans to jackpot because they want to escape the hardship. So people we don't go before these people, don't go spoil road for the Nigerians when they come. Now the time for us to start to clean this mess. When you are in a foreign land, if there are rules and regulations for that country not suit you, move. That is why I gave you this example earlier. You see it for your screen. Polygamy is legal in Nigeria customary law, but it is a crime here in all 50 states in America. If you say you are a traditional man in Nigeria, your tradition permits you to marry 5 wives. If you say you be Muslim for Nigeria, your religion permits you to marry up to 3-4 wives. That your tradition end for Yankee border here. As you enter Yankee, that your tradition, that your culture no longer binds you in this country. So wherever you go, now their laws, their constitution, now will cover you. So Ghanaians, I beg, they could not paro. We are brothers and sisters. We must continue to talk this truth, even if it will pay people for a year. I have shown to you empirical evidence that clearly states that as a foreigner, you cannot come to Ghana and be a king of your people. You cannot come to Ghana as a foreigner and establish a kingdom. It is illegal. I rest my case. My name is Nosa Comedy. Whenever I come here, drop this update. It is 100. My papa first tell me, truth not the fear to talk. Now I want to talk truth to the fear. Let's make Nigeria great again, and let's make Africa even greater.